Welcome to our continuing YouTube video series on wills and estate planning. My name is Christopher Neufeld of Neufeld Legal, and in this video we will attempt to answer the question of what is a will. So first of all, a will or testament is a legal document that you create, oftentimes with a lawyer, that expresses your wishes on how your property is to be distributed upon your death, and as to which person or persons are to manage your property in your estate until its final distribution. What your will shall be doing is facilitating a number of important aspects. Firstly, it will direct how your property will be distributed after your death. Furthermore, it will designate which persons are to serve as your representatives to manage your estate upon your death and how they will carry out your wishes as stated in your will. And finally, where minor children are involved, or if you have special needs dependents, it can well name their guardians and what your expectations are of those guardians. On a broader basis, it's going to relieve the stress associated to your heirs from dealing and trying to figure out what happens with your estate. Because the challenge is that if you don't have a will, it's going to fall upon the court to provide judgment and direction to those people who might well begin fighting or not being certain as to what your true desires are. So when you want to get your correct intentions communicated after your death, when you are not around anymore, you need to have a last will and testament in place. And critical to that process is ensuring that the last will and testament that you put forward is actually properly created and executed. Because in its absence, you could have that will, or what you believe to be a will, revoked by the court because of its imperfections. So, what are some of the things you have to consider? Well, there's a fair number of them, unfortunately, you have to consider, and it's going to be very much dependent upon your jurisdiction. So whether that's based on a national level, a state level, or a provincial level, you need to have properly created that will, which can include such items as properly specifying that you are the writer of the will, that you have the capacity to enter into this will, that you are revoking all previous wills and codicils, that you have signed it, and it has been signed by two disinterested witnesses who have no relation to you or have no pecuniary interest in the will, so that they are appropriate witnesses to have signed off and confirmed that you have signed off on your will. If you don't follow the specific rules of your jurisdiction, you could have the will tossed out for incompleteness or invalidity, something you want to try and avoid. Because of this concern as to your will not being valid, as well as making sure that you have the right things in your will, you've addressed everything you want, and you avoid addressing things that are improper, you should really consider utilizing a lawyer as opposed to drafting something on your own informally and just pulling it off the internet. But it is a decision that's up to yourself. With that being said, you can contact ourselves with respect to legal services pertaining to wills and estate planning. And we trust that you found this particular YouTube video informative as to what a will is. Thank you.